Hello, boys and girls. It's Mr. Dye here to teach you topic 16.2 on perimeter. You should have already watched the visual learning video on 16.2 before watching this video. You will need a piece of paper and pencil to follow along, so please make sure you have that. In topic 16.1, you learned that the perimeter is the distance around a figure. So here we have a rectangle, and today's objective is to actually find the perimeter of different polygons with common shapes. So we'll be using rectangles, squares, triangles, and trapezoids. So we're going to go ahead and solve this problem. I would like for you first to try to solve the problem on your own and click pause now. Once you finish, you can come back and we'll go over it together. Okay, now that you're back, we are going to solve this problem. So, in the visual learning video, you saw that if you have a rectangle, if you have one side length, you can look at the other side that is parallel to it and know that it is the same length. So we have 5 inches here, and if this side is 3 inches, then the other side is going to be 3 inches. Once you have that, it gets a little bit easier to find the perimeter because we now have all of the measurements. So, this question wants us to show two ways to find the perimeter. So the first way, I think the easiest way and the one that you will probably use the most is to look at all the numbers and add them. In particular, I like adding the same numbers or doubles first. So I'm going to do 5 plus 5, plus 5 equals 10, and then we'll do 3 plus 3 equals 6. Once we have those sums, we'll add them together to get 10 plus 6 equals 16 inches. That's one way, and that's the way you probably will use the most when doing perimeter, so you do not get confused with area and multiplication. But the other way is to look at your rectangles or your shapes. If you have 2 of one number or 3 of the same number, you can actually multiply it by that. So here I have a 5 and I have a 5 here. So I'm going to do 5 times 2 equals 10. And I also have 2 3s, so I'm going to do 3 times 2 equals 6. Add those together and we have 10 plus 6, which equals the same as we had above, 16 inches. So those are two different ways to do the perimeter on a rectangle. So let's go to another page with guided practice, and we'll zoom in here. And the first example they give us on the page is an equilateral triangle. Has 3 sides that are the same length. I've actually marked out some of these lengths over here, because they just told us that an equilateral triangle has 3 sides that are the same length. So all I need to know is that there is one side given to me. So if that one side is given and it's a 4 inches, then can you guess what the other sides will be? Let's erase and find out. 4 and 4. So if you guessed 4, you would be correct. And in order to get the perimeter of this equilateral triangle, you do 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals 12, or 3 times 4 equals 12. So the perimeter of this equilateral triangle is 12 inches. Next, let's move on to some more guided practice. And the first question is, how can you use multiplication and addition to find the perimeter of a rectangle with a length of 6 feet and a width of 4 feet? Well, they did not give us a rectangle here, but it seems like we're going to be measuring it and trying to find the perimeter. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my own rectangle for you so we can go over it. So over here on the right side, I have a rectangle, and they said the length is 6 feet. So I'm just going to put it 6 ft for feet. And the width is 4 feet. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and write in the other sides because I know if the top is 6 feet, the bottom is 6 feet. If the side is 4 feet, then this side is going to be 4 feet. So they want us to tell what the perimeter is using addition and multiplication. This actually seems like it is the same type of problem we did on the first page. So in order to use multiplication, let's see, which one do they want first? Multiplication? Fine. I look over here, I have a 6, so this means there's a 6 here. So I would do 6 times 2 equals 12, and then I would do 4 times 2 equals 8. Once we have both of those numbers, we will add them together and get 12 plus 8 equals 20. And we might as well go ahead and put our measurement on the side of it. That's how you use your multiplication. Next, for addition. Can you figure out how to do the addition? If you think so, press pause and write it on your paper. Okay, hopefully while you pressed pause, you added 6 plus 6 and got 12, and then you added 4 plus 4 and received 8, and last you would do 12 plus 8 again for a grand total of 20 feet. There we go. So there's our first answer. If I were you, I would go ahead and pause the video and try to work number 2, 3, and 4. Once you finish working them, come back to see how we should work them together. Okay, number 2, it says explain how you can find the perimeter of a square with a side length of 7. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is think about what sides a square has and how many sides a square has, because essentially if I know that the object is going to be a square, I will draw one. This is not a perfect one, sorry. But we know that all sides are the same length. So if they are going to tell me that, sorry for all the movement, if they are going to tell me that one side of the square is 7 centimeters long, explain how you can find out what the perimeter is. You would say all sides of a square are equal, and there are 4 sides to a square. Therefore, I would multiply 4 times 7 to get 28, and 28 centimeters as my answer. Okay, so if they're asking about a square, it has 4 sides. You just multiply 4 times whatever side they give you. Same with an equilateral triangle, except for those have 3 sides. Okay, the last 2 problems we have. Find the perimeter. So they give us 8 and 4, and this looks like a rectangle, so I'm just going to draw my 8 here and my 4 here. And I'm going to do 8 plus 8 is 16. And then I will do 4 plus 4 equals 8. So my answer will be 2, 4, carry my 1, 24. And it's not 24, it's 24 feet. And the last question down here at the bottom is the square. Find the perimeter of a square. We just talked about how to do it right here. So if I know one side is 5 centimeters, I'm going to do 5 times the number of sides a square has, which is 4. And we have 5 times 4 equals 20 centimeters. I hope this video helped. If you need to, please review it again, or you can always go back to the visual learning. Thank you.